Hey, what's up, people? I'm just in my settings. Laureen's in the house. What's up, Laureen? I just want to make sure I can. I want to see if I could set it for my other mic. They just don't have a setting spot right here. Let me see. Yeah, everybody, definitely check out my show tonight on Truth Frequency Radio. That's tfrlive.com. If you're new to my channel, if you're just seeing me for the first time right now, then check out my weekly show at Saturday nights on Truth Frequency Radio. And that's at tfrlive.com/Eye of Ra. You could support me there as well. And I don't even know if this one mic is the one that I'm using. So I don't know why they don't have a settings spot right here. I like using Zoom so much better. It's like easier to navigate and to figure things out. Hold on, shit. All right. Oh, here we go. Stream settings. Oh, no, it's not. That's not for the mic. All right, don't worry. I'm not going to worry about it right now. As long as you guys can hear me, though. All right. So can you guys hear me live now? Let me see if I can get back to the chat. Oh, cool. All right. Thank you, Lorraine. Sounds great. Thank you. I suck at navigating this, trying to figure out where the settings thing is on this, because there's no like place where I could check like my speakers, my mic, nothing like that. So it sucks. All right. Oh, here we go. Oh no, see everything that is linked to it. All right, it don't matter. You guys can hear me, so there's no. I just wanted to know whether I needed this mic. If it's not, it might be using just my mic through my video camera or the mic through this mic right here that you guys see in front of me. So I was wondering whether it's using my mic or my mic from the video camera. So that's what I was confused about. But thank you guys for joining. I don't know how many are out there right now listening, but we're going to be doing a live show tonight about this information. First of all, it's really a special day, actually. Not just in general, every day is special for everybody, but just to be alive, I guess, is a special day, right? But today is actually 3 years to the day where I had a very interesting encounter. And I didn't know at the time what I was actually experiencing and what actually was happening. It was just like the moment was like a calming, sort of. And I just figured I was seeing like some sort of amazing craft or some sort of uh, random experience. At the moment, I didn't put it together that it could be meant for me, or it was giving me information at the time. I didn't feel like I was receiving anything even at the time. Um, I was just more kind of amazed, and my heart wasn't even beating fast. Usually, when you have sort of an experience like that, when you experience something out of the ordinary, your heart starts beating fast. You feel like almost like your adrenaline's exploding. But this wasn't like that. It was almost like it was. I was kind of amazed by what I saw it do. Like I was like, whoa, like, oh wow. But at the same time, I don't remember ever feeling like adrenaline, that I was like shocked, like that my like that I like it was just, it felt like that it was just it was doing things that I've never seen something do before, at least in this life, on this plane. Um, but it felt like it was not uh, foreign to me, if that makes any sense. Like it's felt like it's something I've experienced before. I just had never seen it in this realm. And it was like, whoa, like, wow, like it's actually happening here type stuff. But it's the following years now and months and weeks after that event where things started to progress for me information wise. I've always had to let me see, let me get the chat, see if I can get the chat because I can't see. All I see is a big picture of my ugly face right now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was like it was the kind of experience where at the moment I didn't consciously know I was interfacing with it at all, or that it was meant for me to experience. Or is this frozen? No, no, it's not frozen. You know what I'm getting at. I didn't like really think that, oh my God, this thing is like uh it's at the time like, oh, it's telepathically talking to me or anything like that. I was just I saw it outside the what I'll explain what I'm talking about in a minute for you guys that don't even know what I'm explaining or I'm getting at it right now. I know I'm beating around the bush kind of, but um I'm trying to put into frame like the complete reality of it, because I don't want to portray like at the moment I was like, oh my God, I'm communicating with this thing, or there was some sort of, I don't want to make it more than it is at the moment. It was just literally I was preparing uh to be on a radio show. It was was gonna be pre-recorded. It wasn't a live thing. It was scheduled, and it was with my good buddy James Bartley, who is the the very interesting thing too about this is that this show I was about to be on, Cosmic Switchboard, is it's a radio show about a podcast, or a radio show. Actually, it's not a radio show; it's a podcast. It's his own personal podcast. Um, it's not like on a network or anything like that. It's something that he produces. Uh, he has somebody who helps edit him, and then they put it on his website, which is for subscribers and for researchers for the UFO community. So it's literally a podcast designed for UFO encounters and experiencers and things of that nature. So the fact that I was literally in 5 minutes after this experience, I was interviewed by James, and like I said, his name's James Bartley, and he does the Cosmic Switchboard show. And I've been a guest a couple times on there. I haven't been a guest about it. Oh, probably last time was about 2 years ago, but I was a guest 2 or 3 times on James's show before in the past. And I've been a friend for a few years, many years now with James, and have been aware of his work for many years, since the 90s. And so the fact that I was just about to be interviewed by a well-known UFO researcher, he was actually mentored by Barbara Bartholick and even Carla Turner. So he has a long line of UFO researchers that he's linked to. So the fact that I was just about to be on a show about UFOs and to have this experience right before was mind blowing in itself. Just that fact, it is just completely cannot be a coincidence. And James had similar experiences as well that add up to this. And basically, what happened was, I used to live in more upstate than here, a little bit more upstate than here. Is really close to Pine Bush, New York, and Pine Bush, New York, is known as a place of a lot of UFO encounters and UFO experiences. They have like a coffee shop there that's like about it. It's like there's souvenirs everywhere and this and that. I think they have a yearly. I never went to it or anything, but I'm pretty sure they have like a UFO parade type thing every year over there, because of so many experiences have been reported there. And there was a rash of sightings in the 1980s in the whole Hudson Valley region. And I think later on was more Pine Bush, but in the 80s, there was like in Brewster, New York, all those places were having a lot, even over here, even over Indian Point, the nuclear power plant, all of these places were having all sorts of different types of craft and weird experiences with UFOs. But this wasn't really a craft, what I witnessed. Basically is usually before I go on I get interviewed, I always either walk outside and look to the sky and say a little prayer, or I look out the window and say a little prayer. So that's what I was doing. I literally was about to go get interviewed. I got dressed, I got ready, I had whatever um platform we were going to be on. I already had it like linked up on my computer. I was all set to go. My mic was ready. Everything was ready. And I went to go get water and to go look outside to say a prayer real quick to the sky. I always do that. It's like something I do just, before I always get interviewed or before I ever have to do anything. I usually do say a little prayer first or whatever. And I usually try to either look to the sky if I can't get outside, or go outside and be outside and look to the sky. And so I went to the window to look outside to say a prayer, literally. I looked out the window and I saw 7 or 8. The best way to describe them is they were like reddish, orange, and white all together mixed, that color. It's like almost like fire, but more of a reddish tint to it than white. Even though in the video it showed more like it was a white, if you look closely, it was reddish to me in the physical, without using the shitty camera that I was using and the old camera phone that I was using, and it was in pitch black outside. So it was it's not you don't it doesn't justify the color of it, and the way it was vibrating and sparkling, and it was like a star, but it was a star that was red, and there was 7 or 8 of them, and they were hanging over my neighbor's house about 50 feet above the roof, maybe 75 feet. It's hard to judge height when you're outside or when you're looking out a window at something way above you. It's really hard to judge exactly how high, unless you're standing maybe directly underneath it. It's kind of maybe easier, but which I was outside. But when I first noticed it, I was literally bending down. I don't know if it's the right timing, because now it's like a little bit off what I see on my computer here. But I was literally bending down like this. I was like looking out of the window, sort of like up at my neighbor's house, and I could see they were sparkling, like reddish, and they were in formation, like reddish orange. And there was like 7 or 8. I didn't count them, but it looked like there was over 6, 7, 8 of them, and they were like in formation, and they were just over my neighbor's house. And then I actually called other people that were in the house. It was actually somebody's daughter that I know, and I called her over here, and I said, "Do you see? Like, look, like, check this out. I wanted like someone else to experience it." And she saw it, and she was like, "Yeah, that's not stars." And then she like went back to go do her homework, and she didn't even want to be worried about it anymore. She goes, "Wow, those are not stars." And she was like, "Wow," like she was like, she didn't care though too much. And I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know if I should just go risk it and go get my phone, or just still look at it." And it was like a couple of minutes that they were there, literally like probably 2 minutes that I was looking at them. And then they started to move, and I was like, "Oh my God." And I risked it. I went to go grab my phone and ran outside. And by the time I got outside, I saw them moving off, and they were moving off. And there was like 1 or 2 that were hovering around still and not going with the pack. And then so I started recording, and one of them it came like right down for me, and was like letting me record it. Like that's basically the best way I could describe it, because the other ones drifted off, and it came down, and it was vibrating. And on the camera, I stopped looking at it with my regular eyes, and I started looking at it through what I was recording. And when in regular, without me looking at it through the camera, I didn't see it change at all. Like it looked continuously red and sparkling, almost like a Chinese lantern, but like more like a star. That's how it was, like pure energy, and it was sparkling red always. But when I started looking at it just through the camera on my phone, I saw it like vibrate from white to red back to white, like it pulsated and changed colors. And I was like, whoa, right on the video. And I have the video right here on YouTube. You know, I posted it on my Facebook today because I got one of those memories where it was like 3 years ago today. So I reposted it. And that's why I'm talking about it right now, because it's actually linked to exactly what I'm working with, and what I've been getting downloads of and experiencing, and all my research that I've been doing heavily since that night, pretty much. I mean, I've already was a you know, the reason why I was getting interviewed that night on the show is because I was already a researcher. I was already having experiences like this, and talking about this stuff. But my research started to accelerate at a massive pace at that after that experience. And not only that, but I was led to other places to research and go to personally, and do certain things. And I believe it was linked to that moment. It was actually linked to that's pure energy. Those are literally celestial beings, you know, that are pure energy. And that's how they come into this realm, or they can come from inner earth or somewhere like that, from some sort of multi-dimensional gateway, and they're entering in this realm through that way. And that's how they manifest. You know, it's like a pure vibrating energy, a plasmic force, you know. And this is linked to all sorts of spiritual technology that I've been researching over the last few years since that experience. And it's all linked together. And I do believe that experience might be linked to ancient technology associated with feline race, and that some people that once were incarnated as humans, that were psychics and researchers, and um, they're now using that technology to once again uh, relay. Yeah, like I feel that that's where actually souls of some. What I'm getting at is I feel those was actually pure energy, the souls of other people. You know, that literal soul energy. And from that moment, I feel that certain people that were once in the past is actually working through me still as well. Like certain mistakes that they have made in prior incarnations, researching some work to try to discover our spiritual technology so we can spiritually evolve. Certain mistakes that they made in the past with their research in their life, they're now giving us information, and visiting certain people and doing certain things to relay information. And I believe that I did receive certain downloads at that moment. And it's linked to a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight. Um, it really is. And the fact that I have some of it on video is awesome. Like, it's a little confirmation, even though it doesn't do a justification. I mean, you could see there's no craft that does what I'm showing in the video. If you see at the beginning of it's like 2 or 3 minutes, the video. At the beginning, you see the orb coming in. It looks whitish in the video, but then it turns red while it's moving around and vibrating. And then it like goes out of the way, and then I'm getting like beeped at by somebody because I was walking into the street. So somebody's like honks on me outside. And then I show the sky to see, and show like where the moon is on the other side, and see that's what the moon looks like. And then this thing was smaller in size, you know, and almost the same color as the moon looked on camera, right? So then I caught it again towards the end of the video, and it literally comes down, hovers there, and then vibrates from like whitish to reddish, right? I'm like, whoa. And nothing does that. So even if you had a specialist analyze that video, they cannot show what kind of anomaly that is. There's no way, because a helicopter doesn't do that. Planes don't do that. That was not a drone. There was no sound. You could see that the audio was active in the video. Nothing was edited out, you know. And what's curious about it too is if you look at the bottom of the video at one point, right after the last orb pulsating vibrating, energetic thing that I caught on camera. At the bottom, looks like some face in the blackness comes out all the way at the bottom of the screen, and it was really creepy. I don't know if that was just a play of light as I was moving around the camera, but it was very, very interesting. And too bad it wasn't. It was so dark out, and the camera, it was an old phone. It was like one of the first Galaxies they ever made. I think like that. It was like an old Android, and the camera wasn't that good as the Androids that they have now. Definitely not. And also, everybody, I do want you to know that I have. If you're just listening to me, this could be the first time you're ever hearing me. There's new people every day. I have a website, themysticalspiral.com, and my Patreon is off the hook. It's got the best information out there. So that's patreon.com/themysticalspiral. If you want to support me and donate, definitely do that at my PayPal, and you can find that at themysticalspiral.com. I also have t-shirts available. I got new crystals that just came in. I have tensor tools. I do psychic readings, all that. I took a few weeks off of doing readings because I was sick for a little while. Things were going on, but I'm back able to do readings again. Definitely. So before we talk a little bit more, I do want to show you some of the new crystals that I got. I hope that the camera is the same time. I'm seeing like a delay from where I'm talking. So I hope it's live to you the way in link with my words, because I'm seeing like a delay. I hope it's yeah, I couldn't I went to do a video earlier too, but my car is like shot right now. I got to get it fixed. I need brakes and rotors and all that stuff, so I can't drive it right now until Monday probably. So I'm stuck. But I couldn't do the Drive Time Shaman video before my phone died and my car died. So if you guys love the Drive Time Shaman videos, well, that'll be probably midweek again before I do those. Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting in the parked car doing it. There's no delay. Yeah, see, I see a delay of myself. So as long as you guys are seeing it in real time, because right now I see like a few second delay on my screen from what I see of myself. But I got some new crystals in. I didn't even unwrap half of them yet. But these are really, really beautiful. And they are golden healer clusters. And I wanted to share some of them with you guys to show some of the new ones that came in. And these are very powerful. I've had these once before. I still have various kinds of these. These certain ones, some of you guys out there might have them. This is a new breed of them that I got. These are very beautiful, these golden healer clusters. Let me see, I'm seeing a delay in myself, so let me wait till I actually could see it on camera. I haven't even seen right now. See, I haven't even seen myself show a crystal yet on my. That's how much of a delay it is that I'm seeing. It's crazy. Yeah, these are really beautiful clusters. Very nice. They're like like little mini cities of Superman cities. That's what they look like. They're really beautiful. And I'm going to be charging a good deal for these ones. The bigger ones are going to be $50, but the smaller ones are going to be $30. And I might even include like 2 for 30 sometimes for the ones that are a little small. I might put 2 of them. So I'm really doing a really good deal with these. There's like all sorts of like energy in this. You feel this, and it is so powerful and so ancient. It's like you're holding a little piece of Atlantis or something like this. That's what it feels like. And each one of them I charge with a frequency generator. And see, I'm not even seeing crystals yet on my screen. That's how I charge with the frequency generator. I put it to 432 megahertz or whatever um, setting is for certain frequencies or for certain things. So like right here, um, if somebody wants, it depends what you want for somebody, but for you could do like 432 is good for the crown chakra too. But then you have like the third eye, the throat, all these different areas that you could put certain frequencies in. Especially if you want to do like DNA repair or a love frequency, it's like 528 hertz, and I set the Nubian pyramid to whatever frequency. If somebody doesn't request anything, I do it for 432 megahertz. It's like a good frequency for us all, for Earth, and I beam it with a large Nubian pyramid that I have, and as well, I do the breath of life, the Odic force, where I could breathe healing energy in from my ancestors and charge the blood in my body and breathe it out into the object. And my crystals and even like my tensor tools, they are humming with energy. They are humming with a frequency, a healing vibration that are one of a kind. And you'll have these forever. These crystals, and each one of these are a very special place in time. Definitely. Yeah, so watch. Let's see what else we got here. I didn't even open all of them up yet. And I have a very good source from Brazil that I use. And it's the only person I pretty much get crystals from. And I wait till he has the right ones, and I get the best kind you could get. We're doing an unopening together. Oh wow, some of these are really nice. There's smaller ones here in this one, but some of these are really, really nice. Wow. Hold on, let me do one at a time. Wow, this one is really, really nice. This one's like a an orange. I have other ones that are like this from another time. This is like a really dark orange, some of them, but these are light. I don't know if you guys can see here, but they're not just regular quartz. These are golden healer. They have shades of gold in them. And these are powerful, powerful crystals. They have a completely different energy than regular quartz. Way different, even though quartz is great as well. These are golden healer clusters, and these are clusters of all little crystals and bigger hunks in them too. Um, right now, I have still some kyanite, and I'm running out of kyanite. I was supposed to get a new order in September, but he still hasn't got them yet. Like I said, I only wait till I can get the first class kind, and so I'm waiting on my order of kyanite. But I still have a couple left of kyanite. I have amethyst. I have golden healer clusters. I have quartz towers. I have Lemurian laser wands. I have all sorts of wands, like Lemurian wands, and big hunks of Lemurian crystal. And I have all sorts of shades of golden healers as well. Like I have orange ones, I have light golden ones, I have citrus color ones. They're the ones that are made for healing, and these are I have high frequencies of healing associated with them. Wow, this one's nice. Wow, that's a nice one. It's a nice one there. Yeah, see, like these two, I would give these two for 30 because they're smaller ones. They're clusters too. It's not just one crystal. I don't know how good the camera is, but look at these. Like these are really fat clusters of crystal. Beautiful. Wow. That is really nice. Yeah, see, some of these are like really citrus colors. This one is a dark citrus right here. What's up, Josh? What's up, Lori? Melinda, thoughts and perceptions out loud. Laureen, Tara, what's up, everybody? We're going to get more into the information too. I just wanted to show some of these crystals. I was unpacking some of them. I still got more to unpack. I haven't even unpacked them all. There's still like a whole bunch in here to unpack, so I don't want to throw them all out over here because I got so much out on the desk right now. But there's so much. You get the idea of what they look like, at least. And I do have all sizes, so pretty much by weight. You know, I give a certain amount by weight. So if like the smaller ones, I'll still give a few of them for for that same price. You know, I'll just there's some of these that are just so beautiful, man. That's like like I said, like a city of Superman. And I pack them good so they get to you, you know, with no harm. I haven't had anybody get anything smashed yet, so thank God. Knock on wood. My head. You guys see the new backdrops? I got two of them. I got the Anubis one behind it, but I was just checking, see which ones I'm going to alternate them from sometimes, but it's a lot better than seeing a closet. I like it here. Eventually I'll have like green screens, hopefully one day, but I like this like this. You know, I could even do like, we can break down this. The reason why I got these two as well is they have to do with my work, and I am following the old way of how to read hieroglyphics, but while I've been doing that, I've been teaching myself from other people, I've been learning it from books and learning how to read hieroglyphics. And in the process, I feel like I'm interpreting it a little bit different than what some of the scholars have. And I think they were on the right path with some of it, but I think their translations with some of them might be a little bit different than what they're saying. And so I've been researching, of course, you know, experiences that I've had myself has led me down this research. And it's not just that I decided to just one day devote my whole life to exploring these topics because I just was curious. I know for a fact that this stuff exists. I've experienced it myself. So when you've seen what other people out there try to say doesn't even exist, it's kind of a weird thing because, like, okay, so there's just millions of people out there that are just literally how do you explain that there's so many people that have experienced some similar things? So it's either everybody's involved with the biggest lie of all, or there's actually something out there that is a reality that we're not being able to, people aren't able to explain, and they just don't want to admit it within the scientific community and with the academic community and all of these communities that just won't believe that certain things are real, and they just like put it off, and they're only doing this out of fear and ignorance and out of money, because there's no money in saying that they've been wrong for all of these hundreds and hundreds of years and feeding us lies. In fact, that discredits them, and now people are looking for new answers, and they do not want to lose their hold and grip on this reality. And if you guys want to see some of my wands, I could show you the wands too before we let me see. I think there are some of them are in here. Yeah. Yeah, like I have different Lemurian laser wands, smaller ones and bigger size ones for uh, whatever people would want. You know, if they would want a bigger one or smaller one, but these are really beautiful and really nice hunks of Lemurian laser wands. You know, these are remnants of Mu. You know, remnants of our ancestors. Yeah, some of these are really beautiful. I have the bigger ones and smaller ones. Anybody who wants to contact me for crystals, I'll give discounts as well. Just contact me. These are really beautiful. This one's really nice. There's so much information encoded within that, and these do not feel like just regular. This one's like an obelisk. This one's really beautiful. I gave Laureen Laureen in the chat room one of a beautiful amethyst double-sided wand where it's like, that one was one of a kind. I don't have another one, but I might have something similar. Yeah, this is the only other one I have. This is a personal one of mine, but this is not the same as Laureen's, but it was something similar to this. Laureen just had a lot better one actually, but these are this is a piece of amethyst like that, but I do have many Lemurian size ones. I have big, huge ones. Like this one is a really big one actually for a wand. This is perfect for a wand. This is really beautiful actually. This one. I have a few like this. So I got all shapes and sizes that people would want. And we have all sorts of quartz phantom generators. They're like little mini obelisks, sort of. That's my daughter. She just woke up. But we're gonna be. I'm gonna close in about 10 minutes. I just wanted to share a little bit of information about what I'm going to be talking about tonight. And guys, during my research recently too, and I've had confirmation by a couple of others researchers out there who have similar beliefs that I have about where red granite comes from. I do believe that underneath the Sphinx and underneath certain places within the Egyptian sand is ancient technology that shows how they were making red granite out of body parts and humans, and how it was made into some sort of like cement-like or clay-like material and then hardened, and then they were putting templates on them. You know, you could even see certain places of Saqqara where there's beautiful granite, and then later on there's like some sort of Greco-Roman crude writing on it where it's not the same technology they were using. So there's some spots where you can see the writing was way later than when it was made, but then there's some spots where they're actually were printing the granite when it was still soft with some sort of templates, you know, and that's my opinion. I know a lot of Egyptologists would say I'm crazy for saying that, but I don't think that all of the granite in Egypt and in Lebanon and all those places was made from the Aswan quarry. They want to all say that it comes from the Aswan quarry, and this is why would somebody go through all the trouble of bringing huge granite blocks all the way from Aswan to put it in a place where it doesn't belong? For what reason? Why? Because it has to have some sort of purpose to be there, right? Why you would just align something even on the inside of a pyramid with red granite. Even in Saqqara, they have pyramids that on the inside are aligned with red granite blocks, huge blocks, where if they had to bring that from Aswan to Saqqara is an incredible feat in itself. And why would they even need that inside, red granite inside that, when they're not even using red granite on other parts of the place? Like they put it to align the walls on the inside of the chute, you know, going in one of the places in Saqqara. And why would they do that all over? Why? Because I believe they made it on site, and they had some sort of machine that was making it almost like dough, making body parts into dough and pressing them out, like almost uh, like Play-Doh type stuff, like as a kid, and grind. And that's why there's no free metals in granite at all. Check it out, especially red granite. There's no free metals. They're extracting all the metallic uh, stuff that's in the body during this process, and that's why it's like 20% crystals or more within granite. So if they're doing this, because why would they want to make something out of this stuff and mold it into part? Why? Because it can absorb plasmic energy, just like we can. It's like we're energy accumulators, right? So if they made granite out of body parts and they mold it into place like that, it will soak up plasmic energy from the sun, and it soaks up things from celestial bodies out there, and they can use it as a network of energy. And I believe pyramids are used to accumulate the energy, and then they're sending it to the obelisks, and the obelisks are beaming it to the celestial bodies, and they can literally beam it to the sun and cause a scorch of a plasmic burst and fire on our planet. And what I've been unveiling through my research, through certain experiences I've had, is that there is things have been activating within my consciousness, and I'm coming with mind-blowing, cutting-edge information that we lost at one point in time, and we're finding it again. And I believe that the only way we're going to understand the truth is if we just throw everything out from all the research that other people have made. Silicon based, yes, that's a good question there. And I do think that uh if we start going in that direction that I'm talking, we're going to find a lot more answers. So I'm pretty sure there's got to be some sort of technology that can test the red granite, especially the old red granite from for mitochondria DNA, right? Or some sort of DNA. There's got to be a way that you can get to chip some off from and go into the deep inside, maybe, where it's maybe still chunks and chunks of it could have some stuff that's more soft on the inside, or softer on the inside, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm not a geologist or anything like that, but I know what I feel, and I know what I see. And I do feel that the red fire-ish balls that I saw in the sky like that are related to me being led to the North Salem rock, the balanced rock that I call the Sphinx of New York. And I actually placed this crystal skull underneath it, inside of a little altar that was built underneath it. It's one of those smaller stones, has a little bowl on top that this locked right into place in when I put it. And I do believe that I was led there, and that this feline red granite head that we see there was molded like that when it was once soft. It's from this being, these giant feline gods to the ancient Egyptians. It has to do with their race, and I do believe that, and that's why I was even led to that stone and to put my crystal skull in there. Sort of like I was led to that moment. It was a spiritual process on my spiritual timeline, and I listened to my spirit, and I actually found that one. And I think that sometimes we have different things in our life that we're actually continuing the work of our ancestors and people that lived before, that we still have fragments of ancestral memory, and sort of other incarnations, memories of other incarnations that we have little sparks of, and that we're continuing the work. And I think it's vital that we have some of these discoveries coming up, that we literally lost chunks of our time. And I've talked about these time jumpers that I was talking about last week, and what we call the Capinera. I've been talking about it for a long period of time, And I do things that things have been changed many times on our planet. And this is why you have many different versions of the same story and similar things. And tonight I'm going to be going deep into the red granite, into certain locations on our planet, because I believe that ancient Egypt, the whole country of ancient Egypt was used as a spiritual coordinate. Each area has a different job and a different attribute for what it does in the process. And it's the process of birth, accumulating plasmic energy during life and different energies during life, so you can succeed in your rebirth and afterlife and rebirth. It's a spiritual coordinate and a whole spiritual technology. The whole country of Egypt, each location, each area is a different coordinate with a different personality and different deities and different attributes and different things. So they can do a sort of like an example of a living, breathing example of what we go through in life, afterlife, and rebirth. It's each part of Egypt has a different job, and that's what I'm showing in my work, and others I think were showing it and not realizing that they had some sort of high tech technology there that was making it a living, breathing system like our brain. It's a duplicate of what we go through in our higher dimensional travels and what we go through afterlife and rebirth. And they made a system like this, and they had certain laws and certain ways to bring the initiate out, and they would have people become initiated like they're stepping up into a higher realm of themselves, like pharaohs and different people. They would be initiated in these structures, and they were living, breathing brains and living, breathing where you can go to a higher dimension of yourself. And I've experienced this in my life, and I believe that that's why I have direct knowledge of it. Certain researchers that I feel that I'm actually continuing some of their work that have lived before, they didn't have the technology on the planet at that time to have a reference in mind of what to look at. Like there was no particle accelerators in the 1600. There was no things like that, so we can reference it to something else. Now we're starting to get to the point where that technology is coming out again, where they were at a certain point, like in Atlantis and ancient Egypt, and this is what we're coming to again. Atlantis, the energy that was happening in Atlantis and the fall of Atlantis. Thank you, everybody. That's happening again now. And this is what's coming to us again now. And this is very important that people understand this. And this is like a new Atlantis, falling and rising, a new world rising again. And I'm going to be talking about all of this tonight on Truth Frequency Radio. And you got to understand that even Horus, it's all involved with plasmic energy and a spiritual technology to keep this living, breathing system on this planet and the spiritual coordinates of Egypt running and breathing. Each different god is a spiritual technology that's keeping different aspects of the community running. And I'm planning to show this in my work and break it down little by little so we can understand it. Like Horus is seen as many different ways. He is Horus Ra, which is the literal sun, and this is the soul of the community, the soul of the world, the soul of Egypt. It's literally the sun, the solar disk. It's what gives life to all things on our planet. This is what Horus Ra is in his first aspect, right? And then he has another aspect of himself is Horus Teti. Now, Horus Teti is the one that avenges Osiris. He's the avenger of Osiris, his father Osiris. It could be his father or brother. This is the aspect of defending against evil. And Horus Teti he's a conqueror over evil, and he's an avenger of Osiris, and he's an eternal enemy of both spiritual and physical evil. And that's another aspect of Horus. And then Horus has another aspect as Horus Nets. And in this aspect, Horus is the deliverer of souls. He's the one who is delivers you from evil, and the one that is a net of souls. Uh, and this is actually a phrase that we find on a papyrus in ancient Egypt, is Horus nets your soul. And what's very interesting about that is that in Christianity, we have Jesus. And Jesus has many aspects of the way they describe him, right? One of the aspects that we describe Jesus is as a fisher of men, as Jesus is a fisher of men, and he's shown with a net in his hands, as like he's sort of like he's fishing for souls. He's netting souls, right? He's claiming soul. You're giving your soul to Jesus, to the everlasting life, and he's also someone who delivers you from evil, like Horus, right? I have this very ancient carving that's possibly not very ancient, but probably over 100 years old, at least. It's a wooden carving from. I got it through the Catholic Retreat Center, and they have a gift shop, and certain times they have different nun covens that either the library closes or something closes down somewhere, where they ship some of the stock that's left over, and they put it for sale. And I was led to certain objects that I feel were directly made for me to find, that they only had one of it, and it was like hidden off to the side, or I'd never seen it before, and all of a sudden it appears. And they've been very, very old. Some of them have been very old books that I don't know how it was there, and I was able to get it and get it for really cheap. And two were objects. One of them is what is it, like not a picture, but it's like a statue type thing that you hang with angels on it, and it has like the picture of a lion face, almost like demon, on top, like not demon, but it looks like a lion roaring, but like an angelic lion face, almost like a humanoid lion roaring. Very interesting, and I felt like it was meant for me. Actually, my wife found it in the gift shop there in the back room, hidden, and I couldn't believe it. We had to get it, and I got it for like a couple bucks, like $2. I don't know how they just gave it to me, basically. This one is this wooden carving actually came with a tag on it that said Jesus, the Fisher of Men. And this is a very old term for Jesus. And you see Jesus is basically standing inside of the hexagram. The Jewish hexagram for Kabbalah, but also, but it's a Hebrew, the Hebrew star, that they call Star of David, but it's a hexagram, and he has different Hebrew symbols in there. I'm not sure exactly which ones, but he's seen right here, Jesus, as holding a fisherman's net, and he's so also Jesus nets your soul, so Jesus might be a rebirth of Horus in many, many ways, as the technology that they used for mummification and rebirth and all of this. Maybe Horus is actually was the Jesus figure in many ways. And so that's a whole nother topic to go down, of course. That's a whole nother thing to go down, but we're going to be going through all this stuff tonight, everybody. Check me out if you want at themysticalspiral.com. And there's a lot I'm going to be talking about tonight, especially some of my personal experiences where when I activated that other layer of the reality in Long Beach, California, I had other experiences right before that, before it happened, where the spiritual realms were opening up around me. And I've talked about where I had an experience with my grandmother's perfume, and where it just saturated me within the alleyway that I was. That same alleyway, all of a sudden, right after that happened, I forgot to mention it before other times live. I'd never really mentioned it too many times, but I've always talked about it to people that are important to me in life. I've showed some of them, they've even signed this book before I left California, but that same alleyway, I found this book from the 1800s. At the time, it was brand new still. I mean, it still has over the pictures in it, like that white tracing paper, that's over it, over the pictures inside of it. It was brand new when I first found it in 2002 in the alleyway. It's from the 1800s, but it was like it was never opened before. And it was sitting on a garbage can in the middle of the alleyway where I smelt my grandmother's perfume, and right before the night where I encountered like some sort of demon posing as an old man in a suit, you know, I found this book, and this book is called The Harmonics of Evolution by I think his last name is Huntley, but I think it's Francis Huntley. Huntley, Huntley, Huntley. The Harmonics of Evolution. And right here on the binding of this hardcover book is a little symbol that actually says Ra. It says RA with stars behind it and a circle around it. And in Long Beach, everybody called me Ra. You know, nobody knew me as my birth name in Long Beach at all. You know, only the no, I don't think only my real good friends knew my real name. And this book, as soon as you open it up, it's about intelligence of the age, right? And as soon as you open it up, the first page, right after I smelt my grandmother's perfume, I found this book like a second after in the same alleyway. Like, and as soon as you open it up, chapter 1, first sentence is, there is no death. There is no death. Life after physical death is a fact, scientifically demonstrable. Life here and hereafter has a common development and a common purpose. That's the first few sentences. This book is truly amazing. It talks about life after physical death and the harmonics of spiritual evolution. And I don't know how this book is not known by people. And even the pictures in it are truly amazing. There's only 3 or 4 plates in it, and they're covered by white tracing paper. And this was given to me by time jumpers, literally. You know, I opened up a spiritual gateway, and that's no other way to explain how this book was there. And in brand new now it's like kind of falling apart a little bit because it's been through so much from 2002. It's one of the only things that I brought back with me from California. You know, really intense. You know, really intense. Yeah, I have goosebumps just talking about it. Again, you know, it's really intense. Really intense. And it's the philosophy of individual life, the harmonics of evolution. I wrote a song called The Harmonics of Evolution to go with it as well. And so the golden boy with his golden hat is going to be out. We're going to go check me out tonight at tfrlive.com and join the chat room. I'll be there at 7 to 9 Eastern. That's in 3 hours from now, a little less than 3 hours. So guys, don't miss out on the information and the cool chat we're going to have tonight. Thanks again. Support me at PayPal. Get yourself crystals, a reading. I do dream interpretations as well. I have a shaman's class that we're going to get back to in a day or two. Trust me. It was just that we've been going through a lot. People were sick, and we did 2 classes already. So you could still join my shaman's class. And if you join right now, I send you those 2 classes. They're recorded, and the other ones are going to be continuing. And guys, don't miss out, because you never know what's happening in the world next. I really feel like eventually the artificial intelligence we're using right now, the technology we're using right now, is going to accelerate to the point where they're going to be controlling what we say to each other, and to a larger extent. And it's going to be, we're not going to be able to be talking freely like this. So it's really important we use these platforms now before it's too late. I also have t-shirts available. Anything you guys need, you can always find me at themysticalspiral.com. Thank you, everybody, and spiral out.